want to thank you all for being here as we declare Oak Park a drug-free zone today in observance of the International Day Against Drug Abuse and Trafficking. This was a day declared by the United Nations in 1987 and declared worldwide ever since. We come here today to stand against the devastation that drug abuse is having in our communities. We are not willing to accept young people living their lives in a drugged haze. We want young people to have the tools to succeed. We believe our communities need quality jobs. They need better education. They do not need drug abuse. And we also want to say that the number 2 cause of traffic fatalities in America after alcohol is marijuana. So when people say that it's not dangerous, when young people are believing that it's not dangerous, that isn't true. That's a lie. Marijuana is very harmful. It's causing emergency room visits. It's causing traffic fatalities. And it is not the kind of future we want in our community.
We first want to announce the defeat of AB 2312, the Amiano bill, which would allow pot shops or marijuana dispensaries to permeate our underserved communities, which would have allowed drug dealers to move in and to bring more drugs into the underserved community. The question that we're asking, how can our youth say no when the adults around them are saying yes? We at the International Faith-Based Coalition have made a determination that we will not stand for Oak Park to be infested any longer with drugs. We have decided that we're going to take a starch stand and fight with faith-based leaders, community leaders, law enforcement to make a difference within the Oak Park area. And we are happy to see the defeat of AB 23, which now will allow us to move forward in making sure that the drug dealers that are standing on the corner will finally and hopefully one day disappear out of the sight of the Oak Park area.
Good morning, my name is Marvell Wilson. Not only am I a member of this particular movement, but I'm also an offspring and still a member of the communities in which we're speaking about. What I've observed is that we have a weakness in those communities. There's a hopelessness that seems to be a target to be capitalized on by folks who want to be business as usual and not pay attention to the details of what lives are being affected by drugs being constantly barraged in these communities. So my position is that, just as Bishop Allen just said, we're strongly advocating toward carrying a message of consciousness about the power of drugs, what they're doing, as well as carrying a message to those who want to perpetuate the sales and inundation of drugs into our communities, that it is no longer a sound investment of your money and time. You might want to invest somewhere else. Thank you.
I must say that in our community, we have a big challenge ahead of us. How can we allow these shops to continue moving in and out of our communities? Giving the thought in mind to my children and my grandchildren, I have to think, what are we doing? How are we progressing? What are we doing as adults, as parents, as loved ones? If we continue to let this happen, what's next? What, crack cocaine? Heroin? We know we have a big challenge in our community with drugs already, alcohol. And like it was said before, drugs has no religious preference. It don't care who you are or where you go. It's going to seek you out. We have to stand together. And that's what we're doing here in the International Faith-Based Coalition. You're not going to see it if you don't get out there and look for it.
In our effort to see the demand for drugs reduced, We parents are also stepping up to the plate, and we are assuming responsibility for our kids. And we will know where they are. We will know who their friends are. We will tell them where we are, that they can call us. We will not serve alcohol and other illicit drugs in our home to our kids. We're not saying there's no alcohol. Adults can drink. There's a difference between an adult and a child. This Parents' Pledge, we're going to be circulating and already have started circulating the first of 5,000, where parents agree that this is our responsibility. Parents also can know they can buy very inexpensively a drug testing kit that can sit on top of the refrigerator, a great deterrent for our kids. In addition to that, because we're concerned about the pot shops that are still within the city of Sacramento, you might know that within the county, the other 6 cities have already taken steps to ban, close, and totally prevent other pot shops from opening. The city council has still not taken this move, and we will be circulating petitions starting in the next couple of days throughout the areas within Sacramento City, calling on the city council to bring the issue to a vote, and we are asking them to ban and further prevent pot shops from opening in the city. So we will have a county that is saying we will not market, we will not send the message to our kids that marijuana is okay. And just picking up on the one comment that was made earlier, you might be interested to know that you're twice as likely to cause a car crash if you're a marijuana smoker as if you're an alcohol drinker. And I think talking about kids is of particular concern to all of us. And what we know now about the strength of the marijuana, it's 20 to 30 times stronger than it was 30 years ago. The active ingredient is fat soluble, the THC. It stays in the kids' bodies a long time. It's impacting their brains. And we're really concerned about this. So we're here to say we're going to take back this community. We're taking back our city and our county. It will be safe, healthy, and drug-free.
If anyone is talking about legalizing marijuana or any other drugs, I just got 4 names for you: Amy Winehouse, Whitney Houston, Michael Jackson, Elvis Presley. Even if you need drugs that help you, antibiotics, you have to go and get a prescription for those. You have to see a doctor. And antibiotics are good drugs. We're tired of people saying that you're trying to help our children by legalizing marijuana, legalizing drugs. I don't know if marijuana helped anyone. I had a good friend of mine that had one bad habit, marijuana. He died of lung cancer in his 30s. College educated, about to be married, never got to see a child, his own child born. We are not only against drugs, we're against the things that all surrounds drugs, the gang violence, the guns. Drugs is a multi-billion-dollar industry, legal and illegal. So this killing that goes on in our communities is also related to drugs. They're all connected. We are here as ministers, clergies, leaders in the community to say we want to save our children. So we're going to start an excellence academy to reach out to the children to say, if you want help, we're here to help you. Because the only way for us to go is up. We're at the bottom of society and our communities are crumbling. So we are here working together to save our children. Thank you.
I am an 80s baby. And as such, I experienced crack ravishing the African American community, and that included my family. My father was a crack addict, and we can't afford to not look at the generational implications that continued drug use in our community has on new generations and generations that are already here. Not only did I grow up in that environment, saturated in substance abuse and addiction, but I eventually developed my own addictive traits and addictive tendencies and ended up 10 years ago kicking a methamphetamine habit that could have easily taken me out. I also want to highlight the connection between drug trafficking and human sex trafficking in our community. I'm a resident of Oak Park. And when I get a phone call that 4 children in my community are being sexually exploited, ranging from the ages of 8 to 16, including boys, are being sexually exploited to support their mother's drug habit, I cannot sit idly by and do nothing. So I'm taking a stand in my community to see drugs completely obliterated from the Oak Park community. Thank you.
Well, I must say that we're all addicted, but hopefully to life. The Constitution, ever being poked and prodded, is now being shredded on the altar of interposition. No state shall make law that nullifies federal law, continues to ravish and harm the most vulnerable in our society. This community, harmed by many years of planned destruction, again falls in the crosshairs of this degradation. This type of degradation from the inside out will not stand, must not stand as long as great people with great vision stand as a bulwark of protection. The International Faith-Based Coalition is such an entity, and I stand with them today to say, no drugs in Oak Park, no drugs in Sacramento, no drugs in California, no drugs in America, because we truly want to build a society of great minds, not of drug-infested minds. Thank you.
We are here to declare to City Council, to the drug dealers, to faith-based leaders and community activists that Oak Park is a drug-free zone. Thank you very much. Thank you for coming.